A vampire movie with Snoop Dogg. It's on the list of things I never knew I needed.
SC and double OP, Digo double G.
What is up, Netflix fans? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking the brand new film Day Shift, starring Jamie Foxx, Dave Franco, and Snoop Dogg. It's a vampire movie, so I need you in the comments down below. What's the best vampire movie over the last couple of years? And is this movie good? Let's talk about it. So a hardworking, blue-collar dad just wants to provide a good life for his quick-witted 8-year-old daughter. His mundane San Fernando Valley pool cleaning job is a front for a real source of income, and that is hunting and killing vampires, directed by J.J. Perry, written by Tyler Tice and Shay Hatton. By the way, if you're watching this with your family on Netflix, this is rated R for strong violence and gore and language. It's about what you expect from a vampire hunter type of movie. A lot of F-bombs in there, so may not be one for the kids, but it could be fun for some of the family to get together. Okay, this is one of those movies that I saw, and Netflix, they've put out some films in the past, some really good ones, but then on the other side of things, these genre-encompassing movies that combine action, adventure, there's usually a catch, right? Whether it's sci-fi or a lot of vampire hunting types of movies on the platform, but you also have some big stars, and every single one of these films, there's always a big star involved. This time around, a handful, right? But the notable one is Jamie Foxx, who is playing our main character. He's a guy who's just doing what he does for his family, but he also really enjoys the job, and he's good at it. He's on a mission at the beginning of this film, but that mission starts to shift as he realizes he needs money quick, but then something new comes about with our villainous character that we will talk about, and he meets Dave Franco's character. Now, this is the type of guy at the beginning of this movie I'm watching and going, you know what? That'd probably be me. Maybe not to the point to where I get so scared I pee my pants, but that's what his character does.
If peeing your pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis.
He's a very cliche character, and a lot of these characters in this movie, they are cliche. They fall into that specific category where each one of them has a trope, right? You have the very heroic lead character who is extremely good, like overly good at what he does. The nerd sidekick, the guy who feels completely out of place. It's a fish out of water type of situation. And unfortunately, an extremely generic villain in Audrey, played by Carla Souza. And I don't think that's the fault of the acting here, right? I just think the writing for this character was extremely weak. This movie has a villain problem, right? We have the cannon fodder, the creatures, the characters that they fight along the way, and that actually provides for some extremely fun action scenes. To the point to where I was actually shocked with how much I was enjoying this experience because those action scenes are so well done. When Jamie Foxx shoots a gun at a vampire, you feel the boom, the explosion. You see the vampire fly across the room and slam into the wall. And that happens all throughout the film. And those action scenes, not only are they filmed well, they're put together well, and there's a lot of violence and gore that comes with it. So that R rating is no joke in that department. It's not only Jamie Foxx. You have other hunters along the way. One of those characters being played by Snoop Dogg. He's kind of just, he's the badass. He's the guy that comes in, knows exactly what he is doing. And to see Snoop D-O-double-G in that situation
SC and double OP, Digo double G.
was pretty freaking cool. I loved seeing those two together on screen. Couple of twists with the supporting characters that I actually appreciated, because up until those points, the plot was nothing special. And I don't mean that as a harsh criticism on the film, like you have to have the most creative and well-written plot in the world to deliver on a movie like this. That's not always the case. Sometimes you just have to be entertaining. And Day Shift is entertaining enough to overcome some really large issues I have with the script. And most of it comes down to the weakness with the way it progresses and the fact that I just wasn't all that interested in the mission beyond having to get money for his kid. Other characters along the way played by Megan Good and Scott Adkins, and I enjoyed these performances, right? Nothing overly spectacular. They're doing what they have to do. The fact that it made me kind of look past some of the weaker performances is always a good thing. Now, the look to the movie, it's that really bright and colorful look, and the direction, it's not super crisp always, like all throughout the film, there were moments where I said, that could have been handled better, right? When the movie starts, you get a song that plays, and it's like this really generic opening, and I'm thinking to myself, like, oh no, it's going to be one of those Netflix movies that just kind of stinks. That wasn't the case because I was thoroughly entertained throughout. And when you have lead performances that are this just compelling, I'm not going to say it's the best performances I've seen all year, but they're having a lot of fun with the role. You can tell they are, and you can tell they had a blast making this movie. And that comes through while you're watching. So even with the weaker script, I can appreciate the fact that there's just entertainment oozing from this movie. But another issue I have about this movie is while the lore is there and you understand, like it's very easy to comprehend while it's going, I wanted to know more. Do they just kind of live among the humans, no questions asked? How many people actually know about what is going on? What exactly is this organization, right? There's little to no backstory given about the overarching plot here. It's just kind of one character on this mission, and the action comes in waves. The plot is generic. Now, maybe it would have been more generic if we would have had a huge explanation of everything, but I did want more in that regard. I needed to know all about what was happening here, and I just never got that. The movie ends, and I'm like, man, how exactly does this world work? Regardless, before I give you my score, if you guys are here and you enjoy this video, let me know in the comments and with a thumbs up down below. I appreciate it big time. Day Shift overcomes a generic story with a few compelling surprises, some wild action scenes, and a cast that is having a great time. I wish we would have learned more, but the overall experience was a slightly positive one. I'm going to 63% with my score. There are worse ways to spend your time this weekend, and if you want a fun romp, a fun vampire-filled romp, this may be the movie to do it. All right, guys, lots of reviews this weekend. Stay tuned. I'll see you soon.